supporting other people, believing other people, that sort of thing, and boosting other people up, but we don't boost ourselves up. If we only treated ourselves the way that we treat our best friend, or the way that we treat our favorite sibling, because not all our siblings are our favorite, and that's okay. But if only we did that, if only we just, were so forgiving to ourselves and accepting of ourselves. So that's where she's really good. She's really good at just, like the name of that song, Happy in My Skin. Are you happy in your skin? Is it perfect? No, good grief. Absolutely not. But it's yours. What a weird world we would live in if we were all exactly the same. Could you imagine? Can you imagine how weird that would be? We all had the same hair. We all had the same nose. We all were the same height. That would just be really, really weird. And there would be absolutely no independence. There'd be no uniqueness. We would do the best that we could. You could change your hair color or the length and that sort of stuff. But for the most part, that would, it would not be serving at all. So we need to embrace our differences. Embrace, you're made exactly perfect as you're meant to be made. You are a miracle. I hope you know that. Every one of you are. I'm a miracle. You're a miracle. Just the fact that you formed, just the fact that, you start out in the womb, and you grow to perfection, regardless of if you're actually perfect or not, right? Our arms are both not exactly the same length. Our legs are not exactly the same length. There's things that are different about us, but that is us in our own perfection. So isn't it interesting how the woman's body can grow this perfect baby, and then they come out into this world, humans take control, and quite often, that's where it goes a little weird, right? That's where things get a little crazy, and you make such an impact on that child in their first 4 years. The way you talk to them, the thoughts that you put into their head, the activities that they do, especially these days with all the technology, play is so important. It's funny, I play a lot with my grandchildren. Xavier is almost 6 and Alice is 3. And I know that's one of the reasons they love being at our house. Is sure, the TV's going and we watch the TV, lots. They watch lots of movies, lots of TV. Boy, I have some of those princess movies definitely memorized. But we also do other fun things. Like the other day, Xavier and Alice were goofing around and they were jumping on the bed. This is our bed they're jumping on. So they're on there and they're having fun, and one of them, fell over or whatever. And so I had a piece of cardboard, some flyer or something that had come in through the mail. So I was like, Xavier, quick, Alice needs a doctor. Next thing you know, we're doing this. This was so funny and just totally inspired. So I grabbed this piece of cardboard and I'm like, hold on, Xavier, time for a body scan. Might as well add some technology in there. So I take the cardboard and then I go from the top of her head to the bottom of her toes. So I'm like, oh my, what a big brain she has. And then I get to the heart and oh boy, what a wonderful heart she has, so full of love. And then I know she had oatmeal for breakfast that day. So then when I get to her tummy, I talk about the oatmeal. And when I get to her knees, I talk about her strong knees. This turned into a game. I'm not even kidding you. Excuse me. For a half an hour. So then Xavier, he was like, oh, scan me. And then we're making up stuff. So then they're doing it. And Xavier's like, oh, Alice, your brain is so big and smart. And it's the simple things, right? So when they come over and they know Nana plays with them. I don't just sit them in front of the TV. I try to stay off my phone or my tablet or whatever as much as I can. I'm not perfect. I'm a busy woman. I have to check some things sometimes, but I try to limit it. So, different play, so very important. Just wanted to share that. It was such a fun game, considering our only, tool needed was this flyer of some company I'm never going to call in my life, but I thank you. I thank them for sending me that because it was very well-timed and they didn't know. It was obviously a makeshift MRI machine or something like that. So, time for the good news. This is pretty cool. Over 60,000 Chinese soldiers and military personnel are being retasked with a surprising new initiative: planting trees. According to Asia Times, the country's Central Militia Commission announced that it would be moving regiments of the People's Liberation Army and some of armed police officers inland from their posts along the northern border so they can be reassigned to non-military tasks, such as planting trees. In order to further pursue their goals of reforesting the country, China plans on planting at least 84,000 square kilometers, which is 32,400 square miles, of trees during 2018. That's roughly the size of Ireland. Wow. Take that in for a second. This will hopefully restore the country's forested regions to about 23% of their land mass, 2% more than the current amount. Asia Times goes on to say that members of online military forums have explained that since they are still able to keep their current ranks, the troops are excited to relocate inland away from the icy northern temperatures. Well, I guess. What a great task that is. That is absolutely wonderful. Next story, also very cool. The world is now your oyster, or, if you need it to be, your dialysis machine. And it's all thanks to a writer who had a near-death experience at a man's Airbnb. The famous Argentinian penman, Hernan Casieri, I think that's correct, was staying at the home of Javier Artigas through Airbnb in Montevideo, Uruguay, when he had a sudden heart attack. Artigas and his wife Alejandra, who worked for the parliament, arranged for a police escort to take Casieri to the hospital. Nothing like picking the easy ones, hey Michelle? The couple even donated blood to help with their guest's treatment. Once Casieri was released from the hospital and went home to Argentina, he left Javier and his wife a sparkling 5-star review on Airbnb reading: excellent house for sedentary travelers prone to myocardial infarctions. The area is beautiful and has direct access to the best hospitals. Javier and Alejandra instantly became guardian angels who will save your life without even knowing you. They will rush you to the hospital in their own car while you're dying and stay in the waiting room while doctors give you a bypass. They don't want you to feel lonely. They bring you books to read, and they let you stay in their house extra nights without charging you. Highly recommend. Wow, what a review to read. Artigas is no stranger to suffering from medical emergencies while traveling abroad either. He was diagnosed with kidney disease in 2007, and for years he would have to undergo multiple dialysis appointments per week in order to stave off death. Wow. That's why he created Connect Us, an innovative app that connects travelers with kidney disease to hospitals near to their vacation spots. Brilliant. The app was the birthchild of a harrowing trip that Javier once took to Argentina, where no hospital was able to give him dialysis due to his lack of residency. Wow. After 12 long hours, the hospital finally agreed to give Javier dialysis and saved his life. On his 2,000-kilometer flight home, Javier came up with the idea of Connect Us, so the stress that he endured on the trip would never happen to anyone else. Casieri's review, along with the news of Artigas' app, was eventually forwarded to Airbnb's co-founder, Joe Gebbia. Gebbia flew down to Montevideo in 2016 so he could stay with Artigas and ask him all about Casieri's heart attack, Artigas' medical experiences, and the app. After listening to Artigas' stories, Gebbia offered to go into business with him. Now, with the added financial might of Airbnb, Connect Us, newly dubbed Connect Us Medical, has grown to serve over 250,000 people. The good news doesn't stop there either. According to the BBC, Artigas received a kidney transplant in August 2017, and he no longer needs dialysis. That is so cool. So when you reflect on life and you think crappy things are happening to you, we all have those moments. Quite often there's such a positive spin-off from it. So what a horrible thing for him to go through, to be traveling and to have these medical emergencies, but how many people are being saved now? How many lives is he changing? So when things happen to you and they knock you back a step, appreciate them, because in reflection years later, if you take the inspired action, if you're the person that creates a change, it's going to all make sense. But you have to take the inspired action. You have to be in the right flow. You have to go with the flow and be like, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's all we can do. So my last story is about a pop star. Earlier this week, Drake, the adored international hip-hop star, became a legend to hundreds of Florida high school and college students, especially for Destiny James. James is a first-generation junior college student from a low-income family who is studying biology at the University of Miami, according to the Miami Hurricane. When James was applying for scholarships last year, she wrote an essay about her life and the tribulations that she had had to overcome in order to succeed. Little did she know that her essay had made it into the hands of Drake. Drake visited the University of Miami on Monday to shoot a music video for his new single, God's Plan. Hundreds of students crowded onto the campus to get a glimpse of the superstar. Some even went so far as to climb onto the roof of the food court for a good view. In addition to partying it up with the students, Drake also wanted to reward James for her essay and surprised her, are you ready for this? With a massive $50,000 tuition check. Wow, that just warms my heart so much. What is $50,000 to Drake? It's a drop in the bucket. It's probably the interest he makes on his other money in a very short period of time. What is $50,000 to that young girl? That just changed her life. Oh my gosh. And to all the people that didn't get the $50,000, it's still that positive ripple in this big pond of life that we live in. And so that's the importance of doing the deed and sharing the info. So here he did this one thing. He wrote one check. It's not going to make a big difference in his life, but he changed her life. All the students that know about it, there's the ripple. Now they're like, wow, I can try. I can share my story. I can have hope that good things can come from mysterious places, and then it's been published. So now the story is on thegoodnewsnetwork.org. People are reading it. I read it. I shared it with you. I feel good. You feel good. We're inspired. We're inspired that there are good things happening in the world, that there are good people. And it also goes back to, we talk a lot about the 1% and the 99%. And are all the 1% bad? No, they're not. There's some greedy buggers. We know it. You know it. I know it. There's greedy buggers in the 99%. Just saying. Greed doesn't necessarily have a religion, a color, whatever. It's just people. We all make choices, right? And you can make a choice to do a good thing, or you can make a choice to do a bad thing. Your life is one choice away from being different all the time. So there you go. So that's absolutely awesome. Lots of good stuff going on in the world. Lots of change. I hope you feel empowered. I hope you realize that you have the power to make a difference. And, I can't write a $50,000 check. I don't even think I could write a $50 check right now. But that's okay, because there's other things that we can do. We can smile at a stranger. We can open a door for somebody. We can, have you been in a scenario where, here comes a young mom and she's got two kids in a stroller and she's got some groceries, and you just hold that door open for her and you watch her face light up. And when her face lights up, I tell you, you're going to have that aha moment of realizing how many people don't open the door for her, and she's going to appreciate you. So do the little things. Start with the little things. Start making those positive ripples into people's lives, and watch your own life change. You know, karma is good and karma is bad. It's all up to you. What you're putting out is what you're going to get back. So there you go. That's your good news for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I totally enjoy sharing it with you. And we're going to go back to the stream, back to some positive, upbeat music. And then Chuck's going to come on with his country show. How cool is that?